The massive object first appeared on Dr. Han Jiwoo's screens at 3:17 a.m. Seoul time. Dr. Han was working late at the Korea Aerospace Research Institute. He was tired, but he wanted to finish testing the new deep space telescope. He did not expect to find anything unusual. He just wanted to make sure all the equipment worked properly. When he first saw the strange shape on his screen, he thought it was an error. The object was too big to be real. It measured about 113 kilometers in length. It had a cylinder shape that got narrower at both ends. Dr. Han adjusted the settings and ran a second scan. The object was still there. This cannot be right, he said to himself. He ran a third scan with different equipment. The object appeared again exactly the same. Dr. Han's heart began to beat faster. His hands shook slightly as he reached for his phone. He called his research partner, Dr. Song Yona, who was working in the next room. "Song-ah, you need to come see this," he said. His voice was quiet, almost a whisper. Dr. Song walked into the room carrying a coffee mug. She had been looking at star data all night and was tired. But when she saw Dr. Han's face, she knew something important had happened. "What did you find?" she asked. Dr. Han pointed to his screen. "Look at this. Tell me what you see." Dr. Song leaned closer to the monitor. Her eyes grew wide as she understood what she was seeing. She almost dropped her coffee mug. "Is that what I think it is?" she asked. "If you think it is an artificial structure moving through the Kuiper belt at a controlled speed, then yes," Dr. Han replied. "It is not a natural object." "How big is it?" Dr. Song asked. She sat down next to Dr. Han and began typing on the keyboard. "About 113 kilometers long. And look at this." Dr. Han showed her more data. "It is slowing down in a controlled way. This is not a comet or an asteroid. This is a ship." "We need to tell Director Kim right away," Dr. Song said. Within 3 hours, the Korea Aerospace Research Institute had checked and confirmed their findings. Director Kim called an emergency meeting with all senior scientists. By 9:00 a.m., they had alerted the International Astronomical Union. At noon, space agencies around the world knew about the discovery. By evening, news channels everywhere were showing the same headline: "Massive alien vessel discovered in solar system." Dr. Han and Dr. Song did not leave the research center. They stayed at their computers, gathering more data about the strange object. Other scientists joined them, bringing food and fresh coffee. No one wanted to go home. This was the biggest discovery in human history. "Based on these readings, we can classify it," Dr. Park, the xenoarchaeology expert, said after studying the data. "This appears to be what we call a Class 111 world ship." "What does that mean?" asked Dr. Song. "A world ship is a self-contained ecosystem designed for very long space travel," Dr. Park explained. "Class 111 is the largest theoretical size. It would be built to carry an entire civilization across stars. Multiple generations would live and die on board before it reached its destination." Everyone in the room fell silent as they considered this information. "So there could be thousands of aliens living inside that thing right now," Dr. Han said. "Or millions," Dr. Park replied. "A structure that size could support a very large population." In the days that followed, people on Earth reacted in different ways to the news. Some were afraid, some were excited. Religious leaders held special services. Governments called emergency meetings. The United Nations created a special committee to decide how humans should respond if the aliens tried to communicate. Dr. Han and Dr. Song became famous overnight. News reporters called them constantly for interviews. Important people wanted to talk to them, but they had no time for any of this. They worked day and night, studying the world ship. "It is maintaining its course through the outer solar system," Dr. Han told Director Kim 1 week after the discovery. "It will pass near Jupiter next month if it continues at this speed." Director Kim nodded. "The UN committee wants daily updates. Everyone wants to know if it will come closer to Earth. So far, it seems to be just passing through our system," Dr. Song said. "There has been no sign of smaller ships launching from it. No signals or attempts to communicate." 2 more weeks passed. Dr. Han and Dr. Song barely slept. They took short naps on cots set up in their office. Their eyes were red from looking at screens all day, but they did not want to miss anything important. "Jiwoo, come look at this," Dr. Song called one evening. She was looking at the latest tracking data. "Something has changed." Dr. Han walked over to her desk. He leaned over her shoulder to see the screen. "It is slowing down," he said after a moment, and changing direction slightly. Dr. Song nodded. "I checked the math 3 times. It is definitely adjusting its course." They looked at each other. Both understood what this meant. "It is not just passing through our system," Dr. Han said. "It is stopping." They immediately called Director Kim, who arrived at the research center 20 minutes later. After reviewing the data, he contacted the UN committee. That night, as Dr. Han finally lay down to rest, he could not sleep. He kept thinking about the massive ship and what might be inside it. Were the aliens peaceful explorers? Were they looking for a new home? Or did they have other plans? What Dr. Han did not know, what no one on Earth knew yet, was that the world ship was not the only alien vessel headed toward Earth. Another species had noticed the world ship entering our solar system, and they were coming too. While scientists watched the huge world ship, smaller and faster alien ships were already approaching Earth from another direction. These aliens had their own reasons for coming, and when they arrived, everything would change. Dr. Han stared at his ceiling in the dark, unaware that first contact was only days away, and it would not happen the way anyone expected. Kim Jun woke up early that morning. He always started work before sunrise. He was a rice farmer near Daejeon, and he needed to check the water in his fields. The sky was still dark when he walked out to his rice paddies. Stars twinkled above him. The air was cool and misty. Birds had not started singing yet. It was very quiet. June was checking the irrigation pipes when he saw a strange light in the sky. At first, he thought it was a helicopter, but the light moved too smoothly, and it made no sound. The light grew bigger and brighter. June stood still, watching it come closer. He should have been scared, but he was too curious to run away. The object was black and smooth. It was about the size of a delivery truck. It hovered over his rice field, then slowly lowered itself to the ground. Steam rose where it touched the wet earth. June's mouth felt dry. His heart beat fast. He knew what this was. Everyone had been talking about aliens for weeks, since scientists found the big ship near Jupiter, but no one expected aliens to land on Earth. The side of the black craft slid open. Light came from inside. 3 tall figures stepped out. They did not look like humans, but they walked on 2 legs. They were very thin and tall. Their skin changed colors like oil on water. They had big eyes that moved around separately like a lizard's eyes. June could not see any mouths on their faces. One of the aliens walked toward June. It held out a hand that had 6 long fingers. The gesture seemed friendly. Then June heard a voice in his head. The alien was not speaking with its mouth. Somehow its thoughts went directly into June's mind. "Human," the voice said in June's head. "We come, with urgency." June did not know what to say. He just nodded. "Take us to your leaders," the voice continued. "We must speak to all humans." By noon, news of the alien landing was everywhere. June's phone would not stop ringing. Reporters camped outside his farm. Police and military vehicles blocked his driveway. But June was no longer there. The military had taken him to Seoul, along with the 3 aliens. Government officials wanted to hear everything he could tell them about the visitors. What June did not know was that his farm was not the only landing site. Similar black ships had landed in 11 other places around the world. In Russia, in Brazil, in South Africa, in the United States, in Australia. Everywhere, the aliens had the same message. "We come with urgency." World leaders called an emergency meeting at the United Nations. The alien who had spoken to June was there. He told the humans his name was Nax. He was the leader of the aliens, who called themselves the Ardani. Dr. Han and Dr. Song were invited to the meeting as scientific advisors. They sat in the back of the room watching as Nax addressed the world leaders. "We have traveled very far to reach your planet," Nax said. Everyone in the room heard his voice in their minds. "We came because we detected the Class 111 world ship entering your solar system." People started talking all at once. The Secretary General had to call for quiet. "This vessel is not what you think it is," Nax continued. "It is not a ship of exploration or peace. It is a seed vessel of the Voth Collective, an ancient spacefaring species that destroys worlds." Screens around the room lit up. They showed pictures of planets, beautiful planets with oceans and green lands. Then the same planets later, empty and dead. Just hollow shells. "The Voth send these world ships ahead to prepare systems for their arrival," Nax explained. "If it completes its mission, your planet will be uninhabitable within 1 year." Dr. Han looked at Dr. Song. Her face had gone pale. He felt sick to his stomach. "Why should we trust you?" the Russian ambassador asked. "You come to our world without warning. You tell us stories of doom. How do we know you are telling the truth?" Nax's skin rippled with dark colors. It seemed like he was sad. "Because we were once like you," he said. "The Voth found our homeworld. We were not ready." The screens showed another planet. It looked like Earth, with blue oceans and green lands. Then it changed to show the same planet, dead and empty. "We are the last of our kind," Nax said. His thought voice was heavy with sadness. "We have spent our lives warning others. We try to stop the Voth from killing more worlds." The room was quiet. No one spoke. The world leaders looked at each other with worry on their faces. "We offer our knowledge and technology to help you defend your world," Nax said. "But we must act quickly. The world ship has already started its work." After the meeting, Dr. Han and Dr. Song were taken to a special room to talk with Nax. Other scientists and military leaders joined them. "What can we do to stop this world ship?" Dr. Song asked. "Your weapons are too primitive," Nax said, "but we can help you build better ones. Together we might have a chance." "How long do we have?" asked General Lee, the top military commander. "World ship will send smaller ships to your moon in about 30 days, Nax said. "They will build machines there to change your planet." "Change it how?" Dr. Han asked. "They will make your air poisonous to humans. They will change the chemistry of your oceans. They will prepare Earth for the Voth." Dr. Han thought about all the people on Earth. Billions of lives. All the animals and plants. Everything would die if the Voth succeeded. "We need to start working right away," he said. For the next week, humans and Ardani worked together. The aliens shared their technology. They helped humans build new weapons and defense systems. Everyone worked day and night. But Dr. Han noticed something strange. The Ardani would not let humans contact the world ship. When he suggested trying to communicate with it, Nax always said it was too dangerous. "The Voth will control your minds if you try to talk to them," Nax warned. "They are masters of deception." Dr. Han was not completely convinced. Something about the Ardani's story did not feel right. But what choice did they have? The world ship was getting closer every day. Little did Dr. Han know that everything was about to change. The world ship had noticed the Ardani on Earth, and it was about to send a message that would turn everything upside down. 3 weeks passed since the Ardani aliens arrived on Earth. Humans and aliens worked together in a big underground center beneath Seoul's National Science Museum. The best scientists from around the world came to help. Dr. Han Ji-woo stood in front of a large screen that showed the world ship. It was now near Jupiter. He watched it closely, trying to understand what it was doing. "I still don't understand what it's doing," Dr. Han said to Nax, who stood beside him. "It is studying your solar system," Nax explained. His skin changed colors as he spoke. "Soon, it will send smaller ships to your moon. They will build machines there to change Earth." Dr. Song Yona walked into the room with Park Min-ho. Park was a young physicist who worked with the military. He was very smart and learned the alien technology quickly. "The defense system is ready for testing," Park said with excitement. If the Ardani technology works like they promised, we might be able to protect Earth before the world ship attacks. Nax's skin turned bright blue. Your species learns very fast. This gives us hope. Later that night, most people went to sleep. But Dr. Han stayed in the lab. Something was bothering him. Some of the data about the world ship did not match what the Ardani told them. He looked at the original files from when they first discovered the world ship. Then he compared them with the information Nax had given them. There were differences. That made him worry. "You work late, Dr. Han," said a voice from the doorway. Han turned around and saw Lee Do-yun, the security chief for the center. Lee was a serious man who used to work for Korean intelligence. "Something doesn't seem right," Han explained, pointing to his screens. "I've been thinking the same thing," Lee admitted. He walked closer to Han. "Have you noticed how the Ardani always want us to focus on defense? They never want us to look more closely at the world ship." Han nodded slowly. "And their technology is very advanced, but some of it seems strange, like it's made to look impressive, rather than to work well." "The president received a message 1 hour ago," Lee said quietly. "From the world ship." Han's eyes grew wide. "What? Why wasn't I told about this?" "Because the Ardani found it first. They said it was a trap, a way for the Voth to attack our computers, but our technicians recovered parts of the message." Lee handed Han a tablet. On it was a short message in many Earth languages. Warning: the beings on your planet are not what they claim. We are the Lumari. The world ship is our ark, carrying the last of our people. We seek a new home, not conquest. The Ardani are hunters. They chase us to take our biological material. Your world is just their hunting ground. Han felt cold as he read the message. "If this is true, then we've been helping the wrong side," Lee finished. His face was grim. Before they could talk more, loud alarms went off throughout the building. On the main screen, many small objects were leaving the world ship. But they were not heading to Earth's moon as the Ardani had predicted. They were flying straight toward the Ardani ships in Earth orbit. "What's happening?" Dr. Song ran into the room, her hair messy from sleep. "I don't know," Han said, "but I think we're about to find out who's telling the truth." They watched as the small ships from the world ship moved fast toward Earth. The Ardani ships in orbit started firing weapons at them. Some of the small ships were hit, but others dodged the attacks. "We need to wake everyone up," Lee said. "The president needs to see this message from the world ship, and we need to decide what to do next." Within an hour, the underground center was full of activity. Scientists, military leaders, and government officials gathered around screens, watching the space battle and arguing about what to do. Dr. Han, Dr. Song, and Lee showed the president the message from the world ship. "How do we know this is real?" the president asked. "It could be a trick, like the Ardani said." "Look at the data," Dr. Han said. He showed a new analysis on the screen. The world ship's main systems are defensive, not offensive, and these life signs inside it show a species that is dying out, not preparing for war. Park Min-ho joined them, bringing more information. "Our team found something in the Ardani ships. They have special equipment for collecting and storing biological material. Why would they need that if they just want to help us?" The president looked troubled. He turned to General Choi, the top military commander. "What do you think, General?" "I think we've been played," General Choi said. His face was angry. "The Ardani came here acting like saviors, but they might be the real threat." Just then, Nax and 2 other Ardani walked into the room. They had been in another part of the center. When they saw everyone gathered around the screens, they stopped. "What is happening?" Nax asked. His skin turned dark purple. "We received a message from the world ship," the president said. "They say they are refugees called the Lumari. They say you are hunting them." Nax's skin flashed red and black. For a moment, no one said anything. "The Voth are masters of deception," Nax said. "Finally, this is a trick to divide us." "Then explain this," Park Min-ho said. He showed data from his tablet on the big screen. "These are scans of your ships. This equipment is designed to extract biological material and store it. Why do you need this if you're just here to help us? The room went quiet. Everyone looked at Nax and the other Ardani. Nax's skin turned deep blue. When he spoke again, his thought voice was cold. You simple creatures know nothing about the wider universe. The Lumari are valuable. Their biological material is special. We have hunted the last of them across many star systems. So you admit it, Lee said. You're not saviors. You're hunters. We are collectors, Nax corrected. The Lumari biological pattern is unique in the galaxy. It allows us to make dead worlds livable again. And what about Earth? Dr. Song asked. What were your plans for us after you caught the Lumari? Nax's skin flashed with colors. It almost looked like he was laughing. Your species has potential. Some would have been kept as samples. The rest would have been used to prepare your world for our next planting. The Ardani suddenly moved very fast. Weapons appeared from inside their bodies. They fired energy beams that broke the room's equipment. Smoke filled the air as the emergency water sprinklers turned on. In the confusion, Dr. Han felt someone grab his arm. It was Dr. Song pulling him toward a side door. We need to warn the defense stations, she shouted over the noise. They're going to attack the world ship. As they ran into the hallway, alarms sounded all over the building. Through a window above them, they could see Ardani ships turning on weapon systems. These weapons were much more advanced than anything they had shown humans. The truth was now clear. The Ardani had lied. Now humans had to decide which side they would take in this alien war that had come to Earth. The Emergency Council met at dawn in a secure bunker beneath Gyeongbokgung Palace. Military leaders and scientists sat around a large table. Everyone looked tired and worried. No one had slept much since the Ardani attacked the science center. We can't trust either of them, General Choi said loudly. He hit the table with his fist. For all we know, both alien groups want to take over Earth. Maybe they're using us in their fight. Dr. Song stayed calm despite all the shouting. The evidence shows the Ardani lied to us. The weapons they helped us make aren't meant to protect Earth. They're designed to disable the world ship's shields. In a corner of the room, 3 Ardani representatives stood silently. They had been captured during the attack. Their skin kept changing between dark purple and red colors. You don't understand what we're trying to do, Nax said. His thought voice sounded desperate. The Lumari are masters of lies. Their world ship looks harmless, but it has technology that will change your world to suit their needs. Dr. Han turned on a large screen that showed new data. Then explain these readings. The world ship's main systems are for defense, not attack, and these life signs match with a dying species, not an invading army. Our analysts have confirmed that the Ardani ships have harvesting equipment, Park Minho added. Special tools, designed to collect and preserve biological material. The room went quiet as everyone looked at the Ardani. Nax's skin turned deep blue, almost black. When he spoke again, his thought voice was cold and hard. You simple creatures know nothing about the wider universe. The Lumari are a plague. Their biological material is the only valuable thing about them. We have hunted the last of them across 17 star systems. So you admit it? Lee Do-hyun said quietly. You're not saviors. You're hunters. We are collectors, Nax corrected him. His big eyes moved around the room looking at the exits. The Lumari biological pattern is special in the galaxy. It allows us to make dead worlds livable for us. And what about Earth? Dr. Song asked. What were your plans for us after you caught the Lumari? Nax's skin briefly flashed with bright colors. It might have been a sign of amusement. Your species shows promise. Some would have been kept as specimens. The rest would have helped prepare your world for our next planting. The Ardani suddenly moved with amazing speed. Energy weapons appeared from inside their bodies. They fired at the room's technology, breaking screens and computers. Smoke filled the air as the emergency sprinklers turned on. Security guards fired their guns at the Ardani, but the bullets seemed to bounce off their bodies. One guard managed to hit an Ardani in the eye. The alien fell to the ground, its skin turning gray. This way, Lee shouted to Dr. Han and Dr. Song, pointing to a hidden door. They ran through it just as more Ardani troops broke into the room from the main entrance. Lee led them through narrow tunnels beneath the palace. These tunnels were built long ago for the royal family to escape danger. Now they helped the scientists escape the alien attack. "Where are we going?" Dr. Han asked as they ran. "To a backup command center," Lee explained. "The military prepared it after the Ardani first arrived, just in case something like this happened." They reached a thick metal door. Lee pressed his hand against a scanner, and the door opened. Inside was a small room filled with computers and communication equipment. General Choi was already there with Park Min-ho and a team of military officers. "How did you get here before us?" Dr. Song asked in surprise. "There are many secret tunnels under the palace," General Choi said. "I'm glad you made it. The president is safe too. He's at another location." They watched on screens as Ardani ships attacked military bases around the world. The aliens were using much more powerful weapons than what they had shared with humans. "They were holding back their best technology," Park said. "Everything they gave us was weak compared to what they really have." "What about the world ship?" Dr. Han asked. "Are the Ardani attacking it?" Lee checked another screen. "Yes. Their ships in orbit are firing on the smaller vessels from the world ship. But the Lumari ships are very fast. Many are getting through. We need to try to communicate with the Lumari," Dr. Song said. "If they really are refugees, maybe we can help each other against the Ardani." General Choi nodded. "My team has been working on bypassing the Ardani jamming signals. We might be able to send a direct message to the world ship." For the next several hours, they worked to create a communication link with the world ship. Park Min-ho led the technical team. They used parts of Ardani technology but changed it to work differently. "This is like trying to build a phone with pieces from a weapon," Park complained. "But I think it might work." Outside, the sky over Seoul glowed with light as Ardani ships fought with smaller vessels from the world ship. People stayed in their homes, afraid of the alien war happening above them. Finally, Park jumped up from his chair. "I've got it. A direct channel to the world ship." Everyone gathered around the main screen. At first, there was only static. Then the image cleared, showing a face unlike anything they had seen before. It looked almost human, but with features that seemed to be made of crystal. The face shifted like liquid glass. When it spoke, the voice was musical and pleasant. It made them feel calm even in this dangerous situation. "People of Earth, I am Elix, Navigator Prime of the Lumari Ark. Thank you for contacting us." Dr. Han stepped forward. "We know the Ardani lied to us, but we need to understand your intentions. Why did you come to our solar system?" Elix's face rippled like water. "Our homeworld was destroyed many generations ago. We have traveled for over 700 of your years looking for a place where we can build a new home. Your solar system has a suitable planet in what you call the Kuiper Belt. It is frozen, but our technology can make it livable." "Not Earth?" General Choi asked with suspicion. "Your world would kill us," Elix explained. "Your air, your bacteria, your sunlight levels, all would harm Lumari bodies. We only wanted to pass by peacefully. Perhaps we could have become friends once we settled on our new world." Dr. Song stepped closer to the screen. "The Ardani are attacking your world ship with weapons they helped us build. They've created some kind of energy field that's stopping your smaller ships from returning to the Ark. Their goal has always been to capture our genetic material," Elix confirmed. "With it, they can adapt to any world, expand their territory without limits. We are the last Lumari. If we die, the Ardani expansion will eventually consume dozens of worlds, including yours." Dr. Han looked at General Choi and the others. "Then we have a common enemy. How can we help each other?" On the screens around them, they could see more. Ardani ships entering Earth's atmosphere. The war was just beginning, and now humans had to decide which side they would fight on. The skies above Seoul filled with bright lights. Ardani ships fought with the smaller vessels from the world ship. The battle had been going on for 3 days. People on Earth watched the alien war happening above them, feeling scared and helpless. The underground bunker. Dr. Han, Dr. Song, and a team of international scientists worked hard to find a way to help the Lumari. They needed to stop the Ardani jamming signals so more Lumari ships could talk to each other. If we can break through the Ardani blocking system, Dr. Han explained to the military leaders, we might be able to help the Lumari coordinate better. Their defense abilities are much stronger than the Ardani weapons. And if they're lying too? General Choi asked. His face showed he was still not sure. We could be helping an even worse enemy. Dr. Song stepped forward. The Ardani made a big mistake. When they changed our defense systems, they left parts of their own history records. We have translated enough to confirm they have been hunting the Lumari for hundreds of years. The Lumari are not attackers. They are running away. Park Min-ho had been working on a new communication device. He suddenly stood up straight. I have something. A direct channel to the world ship that the Ardani can't block. The screens turned on, and Elix's crystal-like face appeared. When the Lumari leader spoke, the voice was like music with many tones at the same time. People of Earth, I am grateful you contacted us again. The situation is becoming worse. The Ardani have called for reinforcements from nearby systems. We want to help you, Dr. Han said. But we need to understand your plan. How can humans and Lumari work together? Elix's face rippled. The Ardani hunt us for our biological essence. With it, they can change themselves to live on any world. This is why they have followed us across the stars. We have weapons that can stop them, but the Ardani have trapped many of our ships with their energy nets. Dr. Song moved closer to the screen. If we help disable those energy nets, can your ships return to the world ship? Yes, Elix said. And then we can protect your world while we prepare to continue our journey. The humans made a plan with the Lumari. Scientists and military experts from around the world joined through video calls. Using the knowledge they had gained from studying Ardani technology, they found a way to disrupt the energy nets. The Ardani don't know that we understand how their systems work, Park Min-ho explained. They think humans are too simple to figure it out. That's their weakness. 3 hours later, everything was ready. Earth's remaining military forces prepared to use the new disruption devices. They would target the energy nets that trapped the Lumari ships. Everyone ready? General Choi asked. When all teams confirmed they were prepared, he gave the order. Begin the operation. All around the world, the disruption devices activated. They sent out special signals that interfered with the Ardani energy nets. Slowly, the nets began to weaken. In space, the trapped Lumari ships detected the change. They pushed against the weakening nets. One by one, the nets broke apart. The freed Lumari ships raced back toward the world ship. The Ardani noticed what was happening. They turned their weapons toward Earth, targeting the source of the disruption signals. Energy beams shot down from Ardani ships, destroying military bases and disruption devices. They're targeting our positions, General Choi reported. We've lost sites in Europe and North America. Just when it seemed the Ardani would destroy all the human defenses, something amazing happened. The world ship, which had stayed far from Earth until now, began to move. It accelerated toward Earth with surprising speed for something so large. As it got closer, huge sections of the world ship opened. Thousands of Lumari vessels poured out. They were different from the smaller ships they had seen before. These were clearly warships built for battle. The Lumari warships formed a protective shield between Earth and the Ardani fleet. When the Ardani fired on Earth, the Lumari ships blocked the attacks with energy shields. The Lumari are protecting us, Dr. Song said with amazement. Elix's face appeared on the screen again. For centuries we have been running from the Ardani. We are peaceful by nature, but we have had to learn to defend ourselves. Now we will stand with you, humans of Earth. Together, we will end the Ardani threat. The Lumari warships launched a coordinated attack against the Ardani fleet. Their weapons were more advanced than anything humans had ever seen. Beams of blue light cut through Ardani ships. Energy fields trapped Ardani vessels, preventing them from escaping. The battle raged for hours. From the ground, people saw only flashes of light in the sky. It looked like the biggest lightning storm in history. Finally, the last Ardani mothership tried to flee the solar system. A precision shot from the world ship disabled its engines, leaving it drifting in space. 1 week later, representatives from Earth met with Helix and other Lumari leaders on a platform built at the International Space Station. They signed the first friendship treaty between humans and an alien species. Dr. Han gave a speech at the ceremony. Today marks not just the saving of 2 species, but the beginning of a new time for both. The Lumari have shared knowledge that will advance our technology by hundreds of years. We have offered them safe passage and the right to settle on a distant world in our solar system. Dr. Song added, and together, we will stay watchful against threats like the Ardani, who see life as something to be harvested rather than something to be respected. Helix performed a Lumari friendship ritual, creating a beautiful field of light that surrounded the human representatives. Though we look different, the Lumari leader said, we are united in spirit. 2 species, once alone in space, now finding in each other the most precious of gifts, friendship, alliance, and hope. The world ship would stay near Earth for 1 year before continuing its journey to the distant frozen world. During that time, humans and Lumari would share knowledge, culture, and technology. And in the vast darkness between stars, word spread of a young species that had chosen wisdom over fear, friendship over conflict, a species that, alongside their new Lumari friends, would one day be ready to take their place among the other intelligent beings of the galaxy. Earth was no longer alone, and the universe, suddenly, seemed a little less empty. End of. They found Class 111 world ship, but aliens landed on Earth to get it.